10 Stoic rules every man must learn before it's too late. Stoicism. One day, a man wakes up and realizes he no longer recognizes himself. The frightening part is that it didn't happen overnight. It happened so slowly that he never noticed it. No one tells a man when he's losing himself. It begins with small compromises. You stay silent when you should have spoken. You ask for approval instead of earning respect. You choose comfort instead of discipline. You promise yourself you'll start tomorrow. You allow your emotions to make decisions that your principles should have made. None of these choices seem dangerous, but together, they quietly shape a version of you that you never intended to become. Then one morning, something feels different. You look in the mirror and wonder where your confidence went. You wonder why your mind feels so easily distracted, why difficult conversations suddenly feel impossible, why peace feels so far away. Weakness rarely arrives like an explosion. It arrives like rust, silent, patient, almost invisible, until one day it has consumed the strongest parts of your character. Marcus Aurelius understood this danger better than most men ever will. He knew that the greatest battles are almost never fought against enemies outside us. They are fought against the excuses, impulses, and habits that quietly take control of our own minds. In Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 2, Paragraph 1, he reminds himself that every new day will bring difficult people, selfish people, and unreasonable people. But he also reminds himself of something even more important. None of them have the power to control his character unless he willingly gives that power away. That single idea changed the lives of countless men for more than 2,000 years. Because Stoicism was never about becoming emotionless. It was about becoming impossible to break. The Stoics left behind timeless rules that protect a man's character long before weakness becomes visible. These are not motivational quotes. They are principles forged through hardship, through responsibility, through failure, through leadership, through lives lived under enormous pressure. If you understand these 10 Stoic rules before life forces you to learn them through pain, you will avoid mistakes that many men only recognize when everything they value has already begun to fall apart. And there is one rule that comes before all the others. Ignore it, and every rule that follows becomes almost impossible to live. Master it, and everything else begins to change. Rule 1. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every man believes his biggest enemy is somewhere outside of him. His boss, his circumstances, his lack of money, his bad luck. The Stoics would disagree. Your greatest enemy speaks with your own voice. It speaks every single morning. The alarm goes off. For a brief moment, you already know exactly what you should do. Get up. Train. Keep your promise. Become stronger. Then another voice quietly appears. You didn't sleep enough. You deserve one more hour. You can start tomorrow. It won't matter just this once. Notice something. That voice never asks you to destroy your life. It only asks you to delay becoming the man you want to be. One compromise, one excuse, one exception. That is how discipline dies. Most men spend their entire lives waiting to feel motivated. The Stoics never trusted motivation. They trusted decisions. Because motivation changes with your emotions. Character does not. Every time you negotiate with yourself, you teach your brain a dangerous lesson. You teach it that your principles are optional, that your word can be rewritten, that your future depends on how you feel today. Eventually, your promises stop feeling like commitments. They become suggestions. And a man who cannot trust his own word slowly loses respect for himself long before anyone else notices. Epictetus taught that no man is free if he is a slave to his impulses. Most people think freedom means doing whatever they want. The Stoics believed the opposite. Freedom begins the moment your emotions stop deciding how you live. Think about the strongest man you know. Not the richest, not the most famous, the strongest. Do you think he wakes up every morning feeling inspired? Probably not. He simply removed the negotiation. The decision was already made long before the alarm clock ever rang. That is what discipline really is. It is not forcing yourself every day. It is eliminating the daily argument. Imagine the man you want to become 5 years from now. Picture him clearly. How often does that version of you negotiate with his own standards? Almost never. He doesn't wait until he feels ready. He acts because his identity has already made the decision. And something remarkable happens when you stop negotiating. Your mind becomes quieter, your confidence grows, your self-respect returns. Not because life became easier, because you finally became someone your own mind could trust. But even a disciplined man can lose everything in a single moment if he allows one thing to take control before reason does. And that mistake has destroyed more lives than a lack of discipline ever could. Rule 2. Never let emotions make permanent decisions. A man's life can change in less than a minute. One conversation, one message, one moment of anger, one decision made under the control of emotion. Most people don't destroy their lives because they are evil. They destroy them because they react before they think. A relationship ends because of words that can never be taken back. A career is damaged because pride refuses to stay silent. A friendship disappears because anger speaks louder than wisdom. Only later, when the emotion has passed, does the mind begin asking the question that always comes too late. What was I thinking? The truth is, you weren't thinking. Your emotions were. The Stoics never asked men to become emotionless. They asked them to become stronger than their emotions. Marcus Aurelius understood that no external event has the power to disturb your mind unless you first decide that it has. In Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 8, paragraph 47, he reminds himself that events themselves are neutral. It is our judgment that transforms them into suffering, that changes everything. Because if suffering begins with judgment, then peace begins there too. Think about the strongest men you have ever met. Were they fearless? No. Were they never angry? Of course not. The difference was something much quieter. They never allowed temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. They understood something that most people never learn. Every emotion has an expiration date. Anger fades. Fear fades. Disappointment fades. Humiliation fades. But the consequences of acting under their influence can remain for decades. That is why a Stoic never asks, "What do I feel?" He asks, "What does this situation require from me?" One question is controlled by emotion. The other is guided by character. The next time someone insults you, pause. The next time fear tells you to quit, pause. The next time anger demands an immediate response, pause. Sometimes the strongest decision a man can make is refusing to make one until his mind becomes quieter than his emotions. Because when reason returns, regret usually disappears. But mastering your emotions is still not enough. There is another force that quietly weakens men every single day. The dangerous part is that it doesn't feel like an enemy. It feels comfortable. Rule 3. Comfort is the first addiction. No man wakes up one morning and decides to become weak. Weakness is never a decision. It is a habit. It begins with something so small that it feels completely harmless. One more hour in bed. One workout skipped. One difficult conversation postponed. One promise broken. One more day waiting for the right moment. None of these choices seem important. That is exactly why they are. Because character is never destroyed by one catastrophic mistake. It is slowly eroded by thousands of comfortable decisions. The modern world has perfected the art of making comfort irresistible. Your food arrives without effort. Entertainment never ends. Your phone can distract you every second of the day. Everything around you whispers the same message. Stay comfortable. Take the easy path. You deserve a break. The problem is that comfort never asks for your future all at once. It asks for today, just today, then tomorrow, then the next day. Until one day, you realize you've spent years becoming weaker without ever noticing it. The Stoics understood something that modern society desperately tries to hide. Comfort is not evil. Dependency on comfort is. Seneca deliberately chose discomfort from time to time, even when he had wealth and influence. In Letters from a Stoic, letter 18, he advised living for a few days with the simplest food, the roughest clothes, and the bare minimum, asking yourself, is this what I feared? He wasn't training his body, he was training his mind. Because the man who voluntarily enters discomfort can never be controlled by it. Ask yourself something. When was the last time you deliberately chose the harder path simply because you knew it would make you stronger? Growth has never lived inside comfort. Every workout you almost skipped, every difficult conversation you almost avoided, every promise you kept when nobody was watching, every one of those moments was quietly building someone stronger than the version of you who wanted to quit. Comfort tells you that you can become extraordinary without sacrifice. Reality says otherwise. Discipline is expensive. Comfort is far more expensive. One costs you effort. The other costs you your potential. And there is something even more valuable than your time. More valuable than your money. More valuable than your talent. It is the one resource you are giving away every single day without even realizing it. Your attention. Rule 4. Protect your attention like your life depends on it. Every generation has a battlefield. The Stoics fought wars. They endured exile. They survived betrayal. Our battle looks different. It fits inside our pockets. The greatest threat to your future is no longer a sword. It is distraction. Every morning, before your feet even touch the floor, someone is competing for your attention. Your phone vibrates. A notification appears. A headline demands your opinion. A video promises entertainment. An algorithm fights to keep your eyes on the screen just a little longer. Most men believe they are making choices. More often than not, their attention is being chosen for them. Marcus Aurelius understood this battle long before the modern world existed. In Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 4, Paragraph 3, he reminds himself not to scatter his mind in every direction, but to bring it back to what truly matters. Because a scattered mind can never become a disciplined mind. Think about your average day. How many thoughts are actually yours? And how many were planted there by endless scrolling, breaking news, social media, advertisements, and the opinions of strangers? The quality of your attention determines the quality of your life. Whatever repeatedly captures your mind eventually shapes your character. If your attention belongs to fear, you become anxious. If it belongs to comparison, you become insecure. If it belongs to outrage, you become angry. If it belongs to distractions, you slowly lose the ability to focus on anything meaningful. That is why attention is far more valuable than time. Everyone receives the same 24 hours. But not everyone owns their attention during those 24 hours. And if you don't own your attention, you don't truly own your life. Protect your mind the same way you would protect your home. Be selective about what you allow inside. Every book you read, every conversation you entertain, every account you follow, every thought you repeatedly feed. Each one is casting a vote for the man you are becoming. The strongest men are not those who consume the most information. They are the ones who know what deserves their attention and what deserves to be ignored. Marcus Aurelius practiced one habit almost every single morning that allowed him to reclaim his attention before the world could steal it. It became one of the foundations of his resilience, and it may become one of yours as well. Rule 5. Win the morning before the world wakes up. Before the world asks anything from you, it gives you one priceless gift: silence. Most men never notice it. They wake up, reach for their phone, read their messages, check social media, open the news, and within 5 minutes, their mind no longer belongs to them. The world has already decided what they will think about. The Stoics understood something that modern life constantly makes us forget. The first battle of the day is never fought outside. It is fought within. Marcus Aurelius knew that every morning would bring criticism, selfishness, disappointment, and uncertainty. Yet before facing any of it, he prepared his own mind. In Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 2, Paragraph 1, he reminds himself that difficult people are inevitable. Instead of wishing the world would become easier, he chose to become stronger. That is the Stoic morning routine, not perfection, preparation. Most people wake up hoping nothing goes wrong. A Stoic wakes up expecting challenges. He expects resistance. He expects discomfort. He expects setbacks. Because what is expected rarely has the power to disturb you. Imagine two men beginning exactly the same day. The first wakes up and immediately allows the outside world into his mind. Notifications, emails, arguments, opinions, stress. The second spends just 15 quiet minutes preparing himself. He reflects, he breathes, he reads. He reminds himself of the man he wants to become before the world tells him who to be. Both men walk into the same day. Only one walks in with his mind already under his own command. Winning your morning has nothing to do with waking up at 4 o'clock. It has everything to do with waking up intentionally. Even 10 minutes of silence can change the direction of an entire day. Because those 10 minutes remind you of something the modern world desperately wants you to forget. Your attention belongs to you. Your thoughts belong to you. Your character belongs to you. Protect those first moments of every morning, and you will begin protecting the rest of your life. Because the way you begin your mornings slowly becomes the way you begin your weeks, your months, and eventually, your entire life. But there is another mistake that quietly steals a man's peace. It convinces him that his worth depends on the opinions of other people. And many men spend decades chasing something that can never truly be earned by asking for it. Respect. Rule 6. Never chase respect. There is something deeply ironic about respect. The more desperately you chase it, the further away it moves. Many men spend years trying to prove themselves. They work harder than everyone else. They explain every decision. They defend every opinion. They seek validation through success, through money, through status, through the approval of people they don't even admire. Yet no matter how much they achieve, it never feels enough. Because respect cannot be collected like trophies. It is earned quietly. The Stoics understood that your reputation belongs to other people. Your character belongs to you. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself in Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 6, Paragraph 30, that another person's opinion cannot damage his character unless he chooses to surrender his peace to it. Think about that for a moment. Someone can misunderstand you, criticize you, judge you, even lie about you. None of it changes who you are, unless you allow it to. Most men spend their lives trying to manage other people's opinions. A Stoic manages only one thing: his own character. because the world will always find a reason to criticize you. If you are quiet, they call you weak. If you are confident, they call you arrogant. If you are ambitious, they call you obsessed. If you are different, they call you strange. The opinions change. Your principles should not. The strongest men never waste energy convincing people who have already decided not to understand them. They simply continue becoming the kind of man whose actions speak louder than explanations ever could. Real respect is never announced. It is observed. People notice consistency. They notice integrity. They notice emotional control. They notice the man who remains calm while everyone else loses control. That man rarely asks to be respected. He no longer needs to, because self-respect is the foundation upon which every other form of respect is built. The day you stop asking, "How can I make them respect me?" and start asking, "Am I living in a way that deserves my own respect?" everything changes. Ironically, that is usually the moment other people's respect begins to appear. Not because you chased it, because you became someone worth following. But there is one final test that reveals whether your confidence is genuine, or whether it still depends on the presence of other people. Can you stand completely alone, without abandoning yourself? Rule 7. Learn to stand alone. There comes a moment in every man's life when he discovers a painful truth. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. Some people will leave the moment you stop saying what they want to hear. Some will disappear the moment you stop living according to their expectations. Others will only support you as long as your growth does not make them uncomfortable. At first, it feels like rejection. Later, you realize it was protection. Most men are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of being alone. That fear silently controls their entire lives. It keeps them in relationships that no longer help them grow. It keeps them in friendships built on convenience instead of loyalty. It keeps them saying yes when every part of them wants to say no. Little by little, they stop disappointing other people and start disappointing themselves. The Stoics believed that character is revealed most clearly when no one is watching. Epictetus taught that if you wish to improve, you must be willing to appear foolish in the eyes of those who cannot understand your path. That is the price of becoming uncommon. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself in Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 10, paragraph 16, that the approval of the crowd disappears almost as quickly as it arrives. Virtue does not. A man who depends on applause will always fear silence. A man who depends on validation will always fear rejection. But the man who knows who he is carries his peace wherever he goes. Learning to stand alone does not mean rejecting people. It means refusing to reject yourself. There will be moments when discipline separates you from the crowd, when honesty costs you relationships, when ambition makes you lonely, when growth requires walking a road that very few people are willing to walk. Do not mistake those moments for failure. They are often the evidence that you are finally becoming the man you were meant to become. The strongest oak in the forest did not become strong because it was protected from the storm. It became strong because it stood through every storm that tried to break it. Your character grows the same way, not through comfort, not through approval, but through the courage to remain faithful to your principles, even when you are the only one standing beside them. And when a man reaches that point, something extraordinary begins to happen. He no longer feels the need to explain himself, because silence becomes stronger than any argument he could ever make. Rule 8. Speak less than you know. One of the easiest ways to recognize an insecure man is by how quickly he feels the need to explain himself. He explains his decisions. He explains his ambitions. He explains why he said no. He explains why he changed. He explains why he walked away. He believes that if people simply understood him, they would finally approve of him. But they rarely do, because explanations rarely change people's opinions. They only reveal how desperately you want them to. The Stoics understood that words are valuable. That is precisely why they used them sparingly. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself, in Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 8, Paragraph 4, that his duty is not to waste energy arguing about what a good man should be, but to become one. Those words contain a timeless lesson. The strongest argument you will ever make is the life you choose to live. Think about the people you truly admire, the wisest person you know, the strongest leader you've ever met. Did they spend their lives trying to convince everyone they were wise? Or did their actions quietly remove the need for explanation? Real confidence is remarkably quiet. It doesn't interrupt. It doesn't compete. It doesn't rush to defend itself. It knows that character speaks long before words ever do. That does not mean remaining silent out of fear. It means choosing silence, because not every opinion deserves your response. Not every criticism deserves your attention. Not every battle deserves your energy. Every unnecessary argument asks for something in return: your peace. And every time you give it away, you become emotionally controlled by people who have done nothing to earn that power. A Stoic asks a simple question before speaking. Will these words improve the silence? If the answer is no, silence becomes the wiser choice, because silence is not the absence of strength. It is disciplined strength under complete control. The man who has mastered silence no longer needs to prove who he is. His consistency has already done that for him. But there is one final illusion that continues to enslave even disciplined men: the belief that life owes them fairness. The moment that illusion disappears, a man becomes almost impossible to break. Rule 9. Accept that life owes you nothing. Few beliefs have destroyed more men than this one: the quiet belief that life should have been fair. It sounds reasonable. You work hard. You stay loyal. You tell the truth. You make sacrifices. So somewhere deep inside, you begin expecting life to reward you. Then reality arrives. You lose people you never expected to lose. You watch dishonest people succeed. You give your best and still fail. You do everything right, and life still refuses to follow your plans. That is the moment many men become bitter. Not because life betrayed them, because reality refused to obey their expectations. The Stoics understood something that changes the way you face every hardship. Life was never making you a promise. It was giving you an opportunity. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself in Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 5, Paragraph 20, that every obstacle carries within it the possibility of becoming part of the path itself. The event is never the true enemy. Your judgment is. Most people spend years asking, "Why is this happening to me?" A Stoic asks a very different question. What is this trying to teach me? One question creates victims. The other creates leaders. Think back to the hardest moment of your life, the moment that almost broke you. Would you be the man you are today if that moment had never happened? For most people, the honest answer is no. Pain has a strange way of revealing strengths that comfort could never discover. This is why the Stoics never wasted energy wishing for an easier life. They invested all of it in becoming stronger men. The moment you stop expecting fairness, you stop wasting energy fighting reality. And the moment you stop fighting reality, you become free. Free to adapt. Free to grow. Free to act instead of complain. Responsibility is not accepting blame for everything that happens. It is refusing to surrender your future to things you cannot control. Every disappointment becomes training. Every setback becomes instruction. Every failure becomes another opportunity to strengthen your character. Life owes you nothing. And strangely enough, the day you truly accept that, you begin appreciating everything it gives you. Because gratitude replaces entitlement. Action replaces resentment. Character replaces excuses. And once a man reaches that point, only one lesson remains. The lesson that separates those who merely influence others from those who have first learned to lead themselves. Rule 10. Master yourself before trying to lead anyone. Every man dreams of leaving a mark on the world. He wants to build something meaningful, protect the people he loves, earn respect, become someone others admire. There is nothing wrong with those desires. The mistake begins when a man tries to lead others before he has learned to lead himself. The world is full of people giving advice they cannot follow. They speak about discipline, yet abandon their own commitments. They speak about honesty, yet avoid telling themselves the truth. They speak about courage, yet spend their lives running from discomfort. It is easy to inspire with words. It is far more difficult to inspire with a life. The Stoics understood that true leadership never begins with influence. It begins with self-government. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the greatest empires in history, yet the greatest empire he ever tried to govern was his own mind. In Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 6, paragraph 30, he reminds himself that no position, no title, and no amount of power can make a man great if he remains a stranger to himself. That is why Stoicism has never been about controlling the world. It has always been about becoming the kind of man the world cannot easily control. Think back to every rule you've heard today. Why did you learn discipline? To govern yourself. Why did you learn emotional control? To govern yourself. Why did you learn to reject comfort? To govern yourself. Why did you protect your attention? To govern yourself. Why did you stop chasing respect? To govern yourself. Every lesson pointed to the same destination: self-mastery. Because the greatest victory a man will ever achieve is invisible. No applause, no audience, no recognition. Just one man, winning the battle inside his own mind. The strongest man is not the one who dominates everyone around him. It is the one who no longer needs to. He has mastered his impulses, his fears, his ego, his anger, his need for approval, his excuses, his distractions. His character no longer changes according to circumstances. It remains steady because it is built upon principles instead of emotions. That is real strength, not becoming feared, becoming trustworthy, not becoming powerful over others, becoming powerful over yourself. One day, your children may forget your words. Your friends may forget your achievements. The world may forget your name. But every decision you make today is shaping the man you will have to live with for the rest of your life. That is your greatest responsibility. Because at the end of your journey, life will ask only one question. Not, how much did you own? Not, how many people admired you? Not, how much influence did you have? Only this: who did you become? And that answer will never be written by your circumstances. It will be written by your daily choices. By every moment you chose discipline over comfort, courage over fear, character over approval, truth over excuses. The purpose of these 10 Stoic rules was never to make you perfect. Perfection is impossible. Transformation is not. Become the man your future self will thank you for becoming. Because the world does not need more men who can control other people. It needs more men who have finally learned to control themselves. There is a moment that comes to every man. Not today. Maybe not tomorrow, but sooner than he expects. A moment when the noise finally fades. The deadlines no longer matter. The opinions of strangers lose their importance. The pursuit of more money, more status, more recognition suddenly feels much smaller than it once did. And in that quiet moment, one question remains. Who did I become? Not, what did I own? Not, how many people admired me? Not, how successful did I appear? Only this. Did I become the man I was capable of becoming? That is the question the Stoics wanted every man to ask himself. Because your character is never built in extraordinary moments. It is built in ordinary ones. Every morning you choose discipline over comfort. Every time you stay calm instead of reacting. Every time you protect your attention. Every time you keep your word when no one is watching. Every time you choose principles over popularity. Those moments seem invisible, but they are quietly shaping the man you will become. Marcus Aurelius understood something that most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever finding. A meaningful life is not measured by what happens to you. It is measured by who you become while life is happening. The world will continue to change. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Pain will visit you. None of that is optional. Your response is. That has always been the heart of Stoicism. Not controlling the world, controlling yourself. Not becoming fearless, becoming stronger than your fear. Not becoming perfect, becoming better than you were yesterday. One decision at a time. One habit at a time. One day at a time. So when you leave this video, don't try to remember all 10 rules. Choose one. Just one. Live it every day until it becomes part of who you are. Because wisdom changes nothing. Applied wisdom changes everything. If this video challenged the way you think, subscribe to the Discipline Code. Every week we explore timeless Stoic philosophy to help you build self-discipline, emotional control, resilience, a strong mindset, and an unbreakable character. And remember, the greatest battle you will ever fight will never be against another person. It will be against the man you were yesterday. Win that battle, and the rest of your life begins to change.